I started with this wooden sign. It measures 24 by 12 inches, and I got it from Hobby Lobby back in the wood section, and it's originally $16.99, and I grabbed my wood when it's 50% off. I took some vintage duck egg from Wise Owl Paint, and I painted the entire wooden sign with the vintage duck egg. And I set that aside to dry. I then took the color bone from Wise Owl, and these letters that I grabbed from Hobby Lobby, they come in a pack of 2. And I just painted all of my letters, and I spell out the word Farmhouse. And then I set all those aside to dry. I got these little wood farm animals off of Etsy, and I took some General Finishes gel stain and a small art brush, and I just painted the gel stain on the wood animals. And once they were fully covered, I just took a piece of paper towel and I just wiped the extra gel stain. And then I set those aside to dry. I went back to my wooden sign and I took my hot glue gun and some of my unfinished wood beads that I get right off of Amazon. They are the 20mm beads. And I took about 85 of them and I went around the entire wooden sign. Now this sign has the inlay for the bead to sit right into. And of course, this is a step that you do not have to do if you don't have the wooden beads. I just thought it was a nice extra touch, and I already had the beads on hand. Another good glue to use is the E6000. And once I had all the beads around the entire board, I went over them with the vintage duck egg. And I just made sure that everything was covered and I got in all the cracks of where the beads met. And then I just allowed that to fully dry. Once that was dry, I took some of the bone from Wise Owl and a small art brush, and I just lightly brushed over the wooden beads. Now, I was not looking for full coverage. I just went lightly on top of them, and then you have some of the vintage duck egg still peeking through. And then if I got any of the white paint on my wooden sign, I just went back over it with the vintage duck egg. I allowed that all to dry, and then I took my tape measure, and I just figured out where I wanted my word to start. And I wanted to make sure that it was even. So once I knew where the first letter was going to start, I just made some of my marks. And then I just took some blue painter's tape and put it across the bottom so I can glue the letters down in a straight line. Once I had all the letters placed down, I took the small wooden cow and I just took my metal shears and I cut the end of the cow off. And then using some of the Elmer's wood glue, I attached all of my letters to my board. Once all the letters were placed, I peeled up the blue painter's tape and I just went around the bottom with the vintage duck egg. I went back to my farm animals, and using the Elmer's wood glue, I just attached each farm animal onto the sign. I did the rooster on top of the E, the pig in the bottom left corner, and then I did the half cow coming out of the O. And there you go. Now we have this farmhouse wooden wall sign that you can hang inside your home. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Paint products can be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can check out some other tutorials over on our YouTube or our webpage. Have a great day.